Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So here's my 6-foot 84-gallon aquarium, and if you're familiar with this fish keeping YouTube channel, you may know that this is my dream tank. This has been my dream tank for nearly 3 years, and I had to wait before I could get it because when I first got back into the fish keeping hobby about 4 years ago, I lived in an apartment, and even though I had multi-tank syndrome and I kept setting up other tanks, but the biggest tank that I had was a 30-gallon and several like 10 gallons. But knowing that eventually I was going to move, I didn't want to set up anything bigger than that. That would be too difficult to take down and move. So, but I moved about 5 months ago, so shortly after that, I finally was able to get this tank. And it's been a while. I've had it for a while. Haven't had a chance to set it up, but I'm about to be setting this up. So, looking at everything that I have for it here, so the tank itself, and I got this heavy-duty stand, this muscle rack. So, and I also got these, those are 2x4s, 6-foot 2x4s, so may or may not be necessary, but I got those because like where these bars across are, it would be like hanging over, so maybe it's necessary or not, but I just got these to put under it just for more support. And I got these two Stingray 2 lights. These are 3 feet long, so 2 of them. And I'm going to filter it with 2 clear 50s. And I noticed that this box is damaged in shipping. Hopefully the actual filter inside is okay. And I got a Whisper air pump, 2 sponge filters. Those are currently in my quarantine tank, so they should be cycled and ready to go. And inside the tank I have some mopani wood. I probably won't be using all these pieces, and not, you know, as it is, just kind of showing them, but I'll kind of arrange it differently. And I have the substrate here. This I got at Lowe's for a 50-pound bag. It's upside down, but 50 pounds. This, I mean, it's not, it doesn't really look that good, and it looks like it's going to be pretty dusty. But I'm going to use that as like the base substrate, and then I got a couple of these 20-pound bags that, you know, look good. So this is going to cover the top. I may have to get some more if this is going to, 2 20-pound bags to spread over the top. That might not be enough. But with all this, 2 50-pound bags of that, now that's just as a base, because these are like $5 for a 50-pound bag, so it's like 10 cents a pound compared to these that are like, I think I got these for $18, so almost $1 a pound. But yeah, so that's going to be the substrate for it. And I also have some hardscape, which is still outside. Let's go take a look at that. So here I have some dragonstone, okostone. A while back I became aware of an excellent deal, and this is Ceru stone. I also got some of that. But the okostone is going to go in the 84-gallon. So I became aware of a great deal from Lowe's where it was under $1.50 per pound. I mean, buy this at like your local fish store, it's going to be a lot more. But yeah, so I got that, and a while back I did a unboxing video, and they're still just out here waiting for the time that I get to set up my tank, so that's going to be it's about to happen. So I'm gonna select some pieces. Probably won't use it all, but yeah, there's plenty. Should be enough that I'll need. So that's all the hardscape. Alright, so I know what hardscape is going to go in there, the mopani wood and dragonstone. But the most important thing are the fish. So one thing that, looking back, when I first saw that size fish tank at my local fish store, I made a quick little video while I was at the store, showing that tank, knowing that would be my future tank. And in the description, I mentioned like the fish that I had the idea at the time, what I had in mind to get for the tank, and I'm going to kind of compare that then to what my plan is now. So it's in a lot of ways the same, but it has like changed some. So Roseline Sharks, that was going to be like the main thing. So I have here in this quarantine tank, I have 2 Roseline Sharks, and so Roseline Sharks, I mentioned swordtails, rummy nose tetras, Julii corydoras, and panda garras. So Roseline Sharks will be one of them. In here I have these scissortail rasboras, so that at the time I did kind of have them sort of in mind, but I didn't mention. But I want to get a bunch of rummy nose tetras. I just have 2 in here, so I need to get a bunch more. I'd like to get like 30 of them, like a school of them. And this pearl gourami, that wasn't something that I knew then, but that is going in the 84 gallon. And brilliant rasboras. So I just have 1 in here, and I want to get a bunch more of those. And coming over here to my 29 gallon swordtail community tank, there's a Roseline Shark in here, so that's going in. So the 2 that are in quarantine, the 1 in here, that's 3. I mean, I want to get at least 6 altogether, probably more, so I will have to get some more. I will put a Siamese algae eater in there. Maybe not right away, but the first sign of algae I'll put in. Maybe I'll just put one in like right from the beginning, and just it'll get accustomed to it. But what I found is I've had various kinds of algae issues in different tanks, and Siamese algae have done a great job. And I'm gonna put some swordtails in there, so I'll take one of these males, and these male green swordtails, there's 2 in here. They were both born in this tank. And I'll take 2 females. One of the green females, the biggest one, and I have maybe a red one. This one's like a red wagtail, even though the fins aren't really that dark black, and the neon swordtail, so those are the females. So one of the green males, one of the green females, and one of the red females. And coming over here to my planted 40 gallon community tank, just yesterday I moved some more fish over, including panda garras. So there's 3 in here. I do want to have panda garras in the 84 gallon tank, so I'm going to get some more. The 3 that are in here now are going to stay in here, and I'm even going to add more in this tank, but I want to get a bunch more for the 84 gallon. And somewhere in here is one lone Julii corydoras. And even though that was the idea at the time, to get a bunch of Julii corydoras, that I'm changing. I am going to get more Julii corydoras to add to the 1 in here, but for the 84 gallon tank, my plan is to get sterbai corydoras. this tank is looking pretty awesome. Coming together. Okay, so altogether, so it'd be Roseline Sharks, swordtails, scissortail rasboras, the pearl gourami, brilliant rasboras, rummy nose tetras, and the one thing that was not on my radar at the time, but is now, and is going to be odessa barbs. So I want to get maybe a dozen odessa barbs for the 84 gallon. And I think that would just be it. Make for an awesome community tank. And then for plants, like some of the plants that I have, let's move over here. Like all the plants that I have that are still in pots were left in pots because those are, I intend to put in the 84 gallon. So this crinum calamistratum right here, so I have the two. This one is planted into the substrate, and this one just left in the pot. And this one, the one left in the pot, has grown noticeably since I got it. I'm not sure what the difference is. This one, I think maybe I might have planted it a little too deep at the time. Like a recent water change, I pulled it up some, so maybe that is why, but I'm not sure. But either way, it's already grown a lot since I got it, so I'm going to move that to the 84 gallon. That will look awesome. And then in here, that's you can see the pot right there, the red melon sword. So you can see the outer leaves that would be like the immerse grown when I bought it, but in the middle you can see the submersed grown leaves in the middle. So it has, I've had it for several months, and I will propagate some of this pogostemon stellatus octopus. I have enough of this scarlet temple, so I'll take some stems of that. And as more of the water sprite grows, I'll bring some of that. There's a little piece of anacharis in here. And a big piece of there, so as that grows more, here's some. I'll propagate that and bring some in. Plenty of Java fern, various types of regular Java fern and windowlive. So I'll move some of that. Going back to the quarantine tank. So I have 3 plants in pots here. So that's staurogen repens and cryptocoryne undulata. And this is a hygrophila something. Alright, just spun it around. Hygrophila salicifolia. So that will come over. Pearl gourami looking awesome. And let me look through the other tanks again. So yeah, cryptocoryne lutea, for sure that's going to go in there. That's one of my most prolific plants that has propagated a lot. And other plants that I don't even have yet. But one of the fun things about setting up a new tank is, that I think anyway, is adding plants gradually and adding things gradually instead of doing it all at once and just letting it evolve and fill in. This tank is awesome. Just like how this tank was. I mean, this was really the replacement tank of my 30 gallon when I moved. But even then, like because that tank leaked and a lot of the plants dried up and it was looking kind of kind of rough, and it has rebounded, and now it's all full. Like if just go back and look at this tank when I first set it up. Big difference between then and now, how it has filled in. Alright, and just to give an idea of what I'm planning on getting, I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I'm very close to doing it. I want to go to my local fish store to see what they have available before doing that, but I'm planning on getting Julie corydoras, so I can get 6 here to go in the 40-gallon tank that I just showed, and 4 of these orange Venezuelan cories, because I have the one, it might be the same thing, but like Petco, the one that I have, Petco sells is a red sailfin Venezuelan corydoras, but that's the one by itself, and I want to get some corydoras for it, so. And I'm talking about this tank right here. This is the lone corydora in here. Whether that's would be the same, just called red by one source and orange from another source, or if they are actually different species, but either way, to get more corydoras in here. And then sterbai corydoras, so they're sold as packs of 4, so I want to get 2 4-packs, so get 8 for the 84-gallon, maybe I'll get some more later. And panda garras, they're sold in 3 packs. I want to get 4 3-packs so I can add 3 more to the 40-gallon, and then the remaining 9 to the 84-gallon. Of the fish from this source, this is Aquahuna. I've never bought anything from them. I've actually never bought fish online yet. This will be the first time trying that, but I hear good things. And there are other fish that I want to get, like the Odessa barbs, Roseline sharks, rummy-nosed tetras, but those are all currently out of stock, so I'm going to have to wait for them. But probably better that way, because, I mean, as it is, this will be like 30 fish at once, and put them all in quarantine. That might be too much. If I, better to spread them out more. But another thing I forgot to mention was kribensis. I want to get kribensis. I'd like to get a breeding pair. I made either, I also thinking of putting them in one of my 40-gallon tanks as well, and eventually maybe some opisthogrammas. But I want to start with kribensis for dwarf cichlids before trying opisthogrammas for the first time. Because I have had kribensis before, like a long time ago when I was a kid. I had kribensis in a 10-gallon, and they had babies. That was the only, aside from like live bearers, that was the first and only egg layers that I ever bred. Until I recently had pygmy corydoras have babies or lay eggs and hatched out some babies, and one of them survived. And unfortunately, though it survived over a month, it has since disappeared. But I want to try to breed corydoras again too. All right, where am I going? All right, so yeah, I'm planning on. The plan right now is to set this up tomorrow, because I have to finish setting up this rack, because it's not going to be this low, but I'm going to be about this high. When I first got it, I just put it here for the time being, but it'll be right here. And as for, this will be the filtration, 2 Clear 50s and the 2 sponge filters. 2 Stingray 2s. I basically did 1, 2, 3 foot to make a 6-foot one. It may not be bright enough, and we'll try that first, and I might have to upgrade or add more lights. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And these mopani wood pieces are too big to fit in a pot, most of them. Like this one and this one I probably could, but these won't. So I probably should have started soaking them already to release tannins, but you know, that 40 gallon that I have with tannins, I kind of like the look of it, and you know, over time doing water changes, it'll get diluted. So it might start off pretty dark, and then hopefully I'll be able to rinse off these bags of substrate enough so it's not too cloudy, and cover it with that. But yeah, so it's about to be happening. So if I do get this tank set up and with the sponge filters cycled enough, I can move the fish that are in quarantine in here, and then I can order those fish if I need to, unless I can get them from my local fish store or elsewhere. And yeah, we'll be on our way. All right, so stay tuned for as this tank gets set up and evolves, and fish get added, and plants get added, and plants grow, and you know, just yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Like I said, that's my dream tank, and I'm finally gonna make it happen. So stay tuned for that. All right, well, that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.